Yo, it's been a crazy couple of days for Boeing, right? Because we've got 3 jaw-dropping emergency videos and a new whistleblower with one terrifying message. So let's start with the first video, which came out of Turkey yesterday morning. There you had a Boeing 767 FedEx Airlines cargo plane coming down for a landing at Istanbul's airport. But reportedly, its landing gear failed to lock into place, meaning they just had to retract it and raw dog the landing with no front wheel. So you had rescue and fire teams prepping the runway, air traffic control giving the go-ahead, and the pilots went for it. With the planes, let's call it mouth, giving that tarmac a nice long smooch. And it must have been love at first sight because it ground up sparks and smoke as it scraped along that runway, with the workers immediately running over and smothering it in firefighting foam. And hey, thankfully, there were no reported injuries with everyone climbing out safely. But unfortunately, the same can't be said for the passengers in this second video from this morning, with his Boeing 737-300 about to take off from Senegal when it skidded off the runway. Video showing one side of the aircraft engulfed in flames as passengers scream and jump down the emergency slide to escape, with photos appearing to show one engine broken apart and a wing clearly damaged. And out of the 85 people on board, at least 10 were reportedly injured, some of them seriously. But then to top it all off, we had a third video this morning, once again, from Turkey, with a Boeing 737-800 landing at a different airport when one of its tires burst. Right, and you can see the damage here, it's pretty wild. But thankfully there, the plane was stopped safely and everyone was evacuated. Now with that said, all of this is still developing. We don't know what went wrong in those incidents or whether Boeing's at any fault here. Because manufacturing's only one of the reasons stuff like this happens. You also have operation and maintenance. But, with the seemingly endless mishaps and near disasters piling up in the months since the Alaska Airlines door plug blowout, it's hard not to wonder. Especially when we have yet another whistleblower who also happens to be alive right now, breaking his silence on CBS News yesterday.
How often did you find issues?
Every day. I'm finding over 100 defects in every day.
Were these defects that if they weren't fixed could be a safety issue down the line?
Some of them were because some of them were missing fasteners.
And a fastener holds parts of the plane together.
Yeah, it's a recipe for disaster, really.
His name is Santiago Paredes, and for about a decade, he worked as a 737 MAX quality control manager for Boeing's largest supplier, Spirit Aerosystems. And he says that he often found problems while inspecting the area around the same door plug that blew out on the Alaska Airlines flight. And also adding that Boeing knew for years Spirit was delivering defective fuselages, which notably, Boeing didn't entirely deny, saying it's long had a team that finds and fixes defects in Spirit fuselages during final assembly. But Paredes went on, alleging that Spirit pressured him to minimize his reports of defects, or with his boss is allegedly calling him showstopper because his reports would delay deliveries. And so his production targets grew, so did the pressure. And by 2022, he says that he was being asked to speed up his inspections by being less specific about the exact issues. Explaining, quote, they always said they didn't have time to fix the mistakes. They needed to get the planes out. And claiming when he complained, he got demoted and only returned to his leadership position after filing an ethics complaint with HR. Though by that point, he had already had enough and he quit that year. And while he was finishing the CBS interview, he did it with words that you're not going to forget the next time you're at an airport.
Working in Spirit, I almost grew a fear of flying.
You think there are planes out there that you wouldn't want to fly on?
But knowing what I know about the 737, it makes me very uncomfortable when I fly in one of them.